All right, let's go ahead and jump to the first game. We're going to be casting these from the replays, and I guess we'll just jump right in. So, our first match is going to be a PvP. We have in the red on Team Foreigner All-Star Team, it is Bonyth. And then over in the bottom left-hand corner, the blue Protoss, that's going to be Zeus. So we're on Fighting Spirit, pretty standard map. We actually been seeing a lot less as of recently. Now that let me turn on the sounds. Here we go. There we go. Much better. Oh gosh, so much better now. We've been seeing a little bit less of Fighting Spirit, I think, in practice games. Between Koreans and just in general, people have sort of gone towards Circuit Breaker as the more standard map as of now. People are finally realizing that there we go, sorry, fixing the speed. I forget that the replay starts out at a slower speed. People are starting to realize that Fighting Spirit has a lot of imbalances to it. It's definitely Terran favored versus Zerg. Probably even Terran favored versus Protoss as well, honestly. Terran's just OP, we'll just say that. We see the first pylons going down. Not too interesting. I don't know much about these players. Definitely, I'm no Bisu Dagger who has like a wealth of information on all of the players, foreign and domestic. No, it's foreign and foreign. They're both foreign to me. So, Bonyth, I believe, is a Polish player. Chat can correct me if I'm totally wrong on that. The first scout going out from Bonyth, it's going to go up to the top right-hand corner, unfortunately in the wrong direction. Zeus, on the other hand, gets a perfect scout off and going in the right direction, so he's going to be able to see what's going up right away. That's very important in a PvP because you get to know exactly what your opponent's up to early on. He's going to see this double gate and know that there's going to be this early zealot aggression coming in. No gas still, so definitely going to be lots of zealots coming his way pretty early. He's already got his gas up, and he's probably going to be getting a 4 up pretty soon after that. The second pylon come down at the ramp, we're going to see probably a fast robo coming in for Zeus. Zealot is out. Let's see if he does any scouting. I love this hidden probe behind the neural lines here. This makes it so that if Bonyth ever does decide to move out with this initial zealot, he can quickly just scout in and see what's going on. Not gonna happen. We do see the sim layer going down, so I think since this was actually scouted, he's not gonna go full ham on the zealots. He's just gonna try to pivot into some sort of tech instead. Maybe a robo of his own, might be 3-gate pressure. Look at that. Perfect scout timing. Sees those zealots moving out, comes in immediately. Finding what's up, so just going. There's the Manor Pylon. Oh, that's so obnoxious. And with all of the zealots out on the map, it's going to be difficult to deal with this with just probes. So annoying. Very well played by Zeus so far. He's already got 2 zealots on the ramp, so I'm not sure if these 3 zealots are going to do that much. Here comes the 3rd zealot, so it's evenly matched with 2 probes and high ground advantage on the ramp here. So Zeus isn't going to have any trouble deflecting this attack at all. Easy peasy. And he's got the better concave, slight zealot micro. Very nice. Bonyth seems unsure what to do. He kind of wants to poke, but like he can't really get up there. He doesn't have any scouting information. He doesn't really know what's going on in Zeus's base. Meanwhile, this probe is back in the main. I'm going to check out everything that's going on, see if there's going to be that robotics facility coming out pretty soon. So, oh my god, he put down another Manor Pylon. That is so obnoxious. The first Dragoon comes out, is going to push these ults away. Meanwhile, we do see a second gateway coming out and Dragoon range, so that's really nice for Zeus. He's going to be able to push across the map with these couple units and kind of keep Bonyth contained in his base. And neither player has a robo up, which is a little bit surprising, but considering the early aggression from the double gate opening without gas, you kind of expect slightly later tech, even from the defending player. But the second gateway is a bit interesting. I wonder if it's just a hide tech, so that he can go for a big bust once the Nexus goes down, or if he's just trying to be tricky in some way. Because I think normally when you hold this, it's perfectly fine to get that one Dragoon, push it out, and then go for the robo. But that second gateway is a little bit pretty aggressive from Zeus. It looks like he might be relying on his micro to try to break Bonyth if he tries to go for an expansion. We do see the robotics facility coming down from Bonyth. Also, robotics facility coming down from Zeus. So both players are going to be getting that shuttle reaver up pretty soon, and we're going to start moving into the shuttle reaver wars. The next piece of the puzzle in PvP is you always have to wonder, when is the expansion coming? So it looks like Bonyth is gearing up for an expansion. He's got a lot of units, but as I said before, lots of units coming across the map from Zeus. Looks like he is actually going to be scouting this out and trying to break it. This is a pretty dangerous line to walk, but luckily with only 2 Dragoons, they don't get too stuck on themselves. Meanwhile, do we have anything? We have the observatory coming out first for Bonyth. Did Zeus go for an observatory as well? I guess we'll find out in just a second. A little bit of micro action going on over here. I should use my keys. You can't use the middle mouse button in this game or else it dies. You do see that. You're gonna see the pylon. He still hasn't put down an observatory or a robo support bay, rather. And we see big action going down over here. That's probably why he's not doing it. And one of these, oh my gosh, one of these Dragoons is going to be picked off in several of these Zealots. And the Dragoon count's actually a little bit higher for Zeus. This is a bit surprising considering that Bonyth opened up with that 2-gate. But maybe he rushed this Nexus a little bit too early. He's going to try to push this back right now. But he's losing a lot, and these Dragoons are so weak. Wow, he actually loses so many Dragoons. And Zeus is going to be able to push back. I think Bonyth is going to actually have to retreat to the high ground and cancel this Nexus. That sucks for him. Robotic support bay is up. Is that a different font than normal? Anyways. So he's pushing up here. He's not going to be able to get up the ramp, but he's definitely going to get this Nexus to get canceled, which is really unfortunate for Bonyth. Bonyth definitely would have wanted to have that Nexus out so he could push, so he could get that economy advantage with the extra gateways. We did cancel there. 2 gateways coming down instead to make up for that, and we see that Zeus is actually gearing up for zone expansion over here. First shell's out, first Reaver's coming out. I don't think he'll wait for 2 Reavers, I think he's just going to go with 1, but we'll have to see. Meanwhile, we do have the contain here in the natural. And this is kind of dire straits whenever you get into a situation in a PvP. Trying to break down your ramp is a pain in the ass. But luckily, this shuttle was immediately scouted by Bonyth's observer, so he's going to be prepared for this when it comes in. He can't really leave too many things from his ramp. He really only needs to send 2 or 3 Dragoons spread out to deflect the drop. But maybe he's expecting some drop play to try to break up the ramp. That'd be very aggressive from Zeus. But if anybody can do it, it's this Korean. Zeus playing very aggressively in this game. It's actually quite surprising. But the 4 gateway production is down now. I don't think you can actually, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I don't think you can actually produce off of 4 gates on 1 base. Maybe if you have this many probes. I know in StarCraft 2 that's definitely not possible. So the first Reaver hit comes in, it does hit, gets a nice shot on a couple of these Dragoons plus the Reaver. So always taking shield damage on your Reaver is really not good at this point, because you really need to be as much life as possible when you get into these Reaver versus Reaver wars, unless you're just a god at the shuttle. You see the expansion for Zeus is down already. He's going to be really well saturated in his natural. Still making the Reavers, getting his shuttle upgrade. Got up to 4 gateways now, pumping units. And this is so obnoxious. Bonyth is trying to break out of his base. He really honestly needs to shuttle a couple of units over here and then break down with the Reaver and the rest of his units and just kind of get a nice concave in this direction. But he's really just playing ultra safe. He's trying to get both the Reavers and the shuttle and try to just break down using only that. Wow, nice observer snipe from Zeus. Keeping a good eye on his opponent, making sure that anything's out of position he's gonna wreck. And you see he's eyeing that shuttle. He really wants to break it. But here comes the break down the ramp. Is he gonna go? No, he's not gonna go for it quite yet. One Dragoon getting stuck on the ramp. And big Reaver hit there. That's not great. See more stuff coming out from him. Here comes the break. He's gonna try to break out. Shuttle goes down immediately, but he does get both of the Reavers out. He's gonna be able to kill off all of these Dragoons at least. But this is so obnoxious to do. He really needs to target down that shuttle. Is that shuttle gonna get away? No. Oh my gosh, good. He just barely got that shuttle before it got away. So this is overall pretty good for him. He's got these two Reavers, but they're slow right now. He has to wait for the shuttle. If he had a shuttle right now, he could go across the map and honestly just end the game. He still might try to do it. Wow, there's a Reaver just sitting in the middle of the map for Zeus. This is terrible for Zeus. He does have the home field advantage. He's going to be producing a lot of units, and the Reaver is going to be coming out shortly. But this is a lot worse than it could be. These slow Reavers coming across the map. Once that shuttle gets out, it's going to be a lot easier to push across the map. But Bonyth is just going to go for it. He's just gunning it straight through these pylons. And that's so dangerous to do because they draw so much aggro. He really needs to target these Dragoons very nicely. But he is getting most of these Dragoons. And there's still a couple of Zealots left. Once these Reavers get over here, this may be game. We'll have to see. The wall is really annoying, and it's slowing him down quite a bit. He's got one AFK Zealot over here. But as long as he can snipe most of these Dragoons, Bonyth is going to be in a really great spot. Do you see the shuttle with the Reavers? He is going to be coming out right now. He needs to spread out these Dragoons a little bit so it doesn't take too much damage. And the Reaver goes down. Is this a comeback? It's going to be hard for him to break up this ramp, but he is going to kill all of the all of the probes in the natural, and he's going to be able to take this natural nexus down as well. So very well played overall. This has been a back and forth PvP already. Lots of these gateways down. He's going to drop on the high ground. This is really risky, especially if he gets that shuttle snipe. But he is just going to snipe the other Reaver so he can break up this ramp. I'm not sure if this is good, but the Reaver is staying alive, and he does have his units up this ramp. He has a huge advantage. He needs to get away from those probes so they can't drone drill him. Probe drill, rather. But good micro so far from Bonyth. He just needs to keep moving these Dragoons around and keep them from getting fully surrounded. He doesn't quite do it, but he's going to kill off another Dragoon. And so far, this is a huge win for our foreigner. This is so surprising considering how in charge Zeus was of the early game. And more probes are going down. There's just not enough units to defend. He may live for right now. The expansion has gone up for Bonyth behind all of this aggression. So even if he doesn't break Zeus right now, he's got a huge economic advantage. He's going to be able to kill off a bunch of these pylons, which is basically wasted minerals. And you can see, like, minerals are a big deal right now. Zeus is almost mined out in his main. He's only got, 300 max on each one of these patches. While Bonyth is slowly mining out in his main, he's going to have his natural. So in the next couple of minutes, unless Zeus does something really amazing, it's going to be very hard to actually get anything done. And I love this scout by Bonyth, just making sure, all right, I've cleared my opponent's natural. I've gotten all the advantages I could possibly get in this game. What's the only thing he could do? Answer, hidden base. And he finds it with the Zealot. Hopefully he saw that on the minimap. If he didn't, that would be tragic. I don't think he did. I think he's paying too much attention to his macro and moving out on the map. Is he going to be able to snipe this Reaver? This Reaver is way out of position. Oh gosh, he gets away with one hit. That's rough. Loses another observer. That's not great. But, Bonyth honestly doesn't have to do anything right now. All he has to do is check for hidden expansions, see what's going on around the map, and just macro. That's all he has to do. He's in such a position to win right now that the only thing he can possibly do to lose is by overextending and losing too many units. That's literally the only thing. I'd love to see, yeah, okay, good. I was about to say, I want to see a little bit more Zealots in the scout position, because if he does try to break down that ramp, Zealots are the gods are just getting surrounds on this and preventing him from actually breaking out. Tries to go for a snipe on the observer. Not going to work for right now. He does need to keep scouting around the map. Bonyth has stopped scouting around the map for this hidden expansion. He really needs to keep that up at all times. I wouldn't even be opposed to him sending out an extra probe, because he has a lot of probes right now and he can't really fully mine off of these two bases. But the worst thing that can happen to him is Zeus gets a hidden base up and then he's not able to actually counter it in time. He's scouting the very corners of each of the bases, trying to make sure what's going on. We do see right now it is 55 supply to 89, and a pretty huge gas advantage going in favor of Bonyth. We'll see if he decides to transition into the Templar Archives pretty soon. I think he already does have the Templar Archives down. I haven't seen any actual... Oh, this is great. This drop kills a couple of probes. Not too bad, but good job from Bonyth having things in position already to deal with that. He's going to miss the probe again. Again, he walks right past the probe with the Zealot. That's just not quite great mini-map awareness from Bonyth. Focusing on a lot of different things at once. That might have been right when he was defending this drop, so he was too focused on that. But anyhow, all he has to do is just sit here, macro. All he's got to do. The only way he can lose. Nice pick off there. He's going to lose another observer, maybe? No, not quite. Good stuff. Good hit there from that Reaver. Gonna be obnoxious. We do see the two Reavers coming out. We do see Zeus is gonna try the elevator shuttle that I was talking about earlier. Sorry, the shuttle elevator. He's gonna shuttle things down here and try to get a nice arc coming down into his natural. But we do see Archons out already. This is about the time where typically, as Bonyth, you want to leave. You don't have to prevent this base from going out forever. All you have to do is just prevent it from going down long enough to get the tech advantage. And then you just move across the map, regroup, and go again. But he does have this Archon coming across the map. This Archon could be a game changer if he responds quickly enough. We do see the attack is coming in. This is so nice. He has a couple of Zealots over here. He's going to be able to pick off the shuttle immediately. He's going to be able to pick off the two Reavers, and that's the GG! Foreigner team takes a 1-0 lead in the series. Excellent game from Bonyth. Finding his advantages, getting ahead. That break down the ramp was insane.